So that correct your motivation with the thing that may I achieve Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Therefore, I'm listening today's Dharma teaching. And then after that, so the topic today is the talking about serenity, the preparing for meditative serenity. The meditative serenity, yesterday last time we start from where is it? We start from rely on precondition for meditative serenity. So we're not complete yet. So therefore we continue talking on rely on the precondition for a meditative serenity. So the precondition practice, the according to few different the texts, and then the six precondition practice is including it is connected to the Kamalashila, the meditation of the second stage of the meditations. So, and then also said here, Lama Tsongkhapa, you should learn more about them from Asanga, Sarvaga level, Nyansa. So therefore, I'm going to leave you explain about giving more detail with this text. Okay, the Asanga Sarvaga level, there are 13, the precondition practice mentioned it that. So what are the 13s are? What the 13s are, the first is the 5 aspects of opportunity that portion to yourself. And then second is the 5 aspects of opportunity that portion to others. And then next, diligent to virtue or like having great aspiration to doing virtuous practice. And then fourth one is the perfect morality practice. And then 5th, restraining the sensory faculties. And then 6 is appropriate diet. And then 7, properly at the time of sleep, what time is good to sleep, what time is good to practice. That's saying properly at the time of sleep. And then 8 is acting with a vigilance. Then 9, rely on the teacher. And then 10th, listening Dharma. And then Jugjiri Dambe Chö Semba Shun. Okay, 11 is an 11 is thinking the Dharma or contemplating with Dharma. And then 12 is Toma Pewalwe. Okay, 12 is generosity. And then Joksum Dikare. Okay, the 13 is Sharamana's activities or the Dharma of Sharamana's. Yeah. So the 5 aspect of opportunity and the 5 aspect of the 5 aspect of opportunity refers to yourself and other. Both are actually it talks in the beginning of Lamrim when the human leisure and opportunity. So there are 8 leisures and 10 opportunities. So therefore it's same here that what are the 10 opportunities. The first 5 aspect of opportunity that person to yourself. And then also the Nagarjuna, the prayer of the stage mentioned that what are the 5 the opportunity person to yourself is being human being, and then being born in central regions. The central regions here where the all these audience, fully audience, both nuns and monks, and also the novice audience, all this audience where they're remaining established, that is the central regions. So therefore, the being born in a central region and having completely sensory faculties, that all these your sensory faculties and consciousness are completely functioned, and then that is another opportunity, having complete sensory faculties, and then having faith, to the Tripitaka. The Tripitaka is Pitaka that you Vinaya and Sutra and then Abhidharma. So that having faith to Tripitaka and having reversible karma, which is you do not have to 5 immediate retribution karma.
5 acts of immediate retribution.
Yeah, 5 acts of retribution, immediate retribution karma. So which is killing father and mother, killing arhat, and then also the divisive sangha, and then the taking blood from Buddha's body. So these are the 5 immediate retributions. So which we don't have these 5, therefore we have opportunity that push into yourself.
다음 신종 되더니 근데 마스 쉬어이나 신 산계전다 탐주송 대반에 단계지죠 신직다도 때문에 신종마다 때문에 쇼송하는 신신이다 산계 출마다 다들 지당 진짜 다들 뒤에 걸는 산계 공수 참 맞아 있는 산계 출마다 면이다 지가스나 아니 다시 지가실 수 있는 대화 뒤에 쉬어서 산계 출마다 퇴투구에서 이렇게 송규에서 산계 출마 아니 담비 출송 왔습니다. 근데 담비 출등이 라마 기비신 슈 뒤잡니 퇴투구에서 송구에서 한 대만 내당수다 산계기 대만 내받아 되니 갑이마 대만 내당 아니 대라더니 여성 고수 수주도 지경기더니 두자 유비 갑인상 대지 주가 왔어 아니 신적다도 인쇄 왔습니다. 다디 어디 가서나 다 소유 제라서 지만 동맹이다 되게 인지 하는 팀들이다 내가 좀 요하고 팀들이다 디마디라 아니 신중하다 대바스
So same Nagarjuna prayer also mentioned that 5 aspects of opportunity that person to other are that Buddha has visited. So even this time, the Buddha not visit at time, this moment, but we have all these gurus and teachers as a Buddha. Therefore, it can be substitute representative of the Buddha. Therefore, it's the same that you should think that Buddha has visited now, here, and the today's. And then that the sublime teaching is being taught. That's also that this time we have all these gurus and teachers are teaching that all this Buddha's Dharma. Therefore, this is another opportunity we have it. And that the teaching remain, and also the same, the teaching is still remaining, the Buddha's Dharma. And that there are those who follow. It's not just teaching remain. There are many following the Buddha Dharma. So therefore we have it. So, and then also there's a means like having compassionate to others, which is mean there who are like a Dharma sponsoring, a Dharma donating, or Dharma generosity practitioner. So there who are caring to others, caring to Dharma practitioners. This is the 5th one. Then all this like a 10th opportunity, we have it now. The third is having diligence to Dharma practice or collecting the virtues activities. Kalsang gave it to okay, you're having more diligent and interesting to the engaging the virtues practice. This is the third one, which is needed for precondition for practicing serenity. And then 4th, also saying having vows, the vows that you are the engaging, we'll call it, it's like all these abandoning downfall things and engaging all these perfect vows. This is need to be, it's also precondition needed for that.
되는 소화되는 다 소화되바라 되는 차바페다 동안 되는 아니 시간 배기 규칙을 위해서 되는 공부도 마세들이 최고가 되는 소화했어.
The fifth, restraining the sensory faculties. That means like restraining the sensory faculties also arises that in general we have a 5 or 6 sensory faculties. That each 6 sensory faculties arises that 6 consciousness, and then 6 consciousness meet with the 6 object, that having then 6 feeling, and then each feelings having like a pleasure and unpleasure. Once you have a pleasure, it let you arises the attachment. When you're having that unpleasure feeling, it's let you arise the hatred. So then we having many negatives. Therefore, controlling or restraining means your all these 5 or 6 sense faculties not allowed to having that kind of not allowed to arises that mental afflictions. So you are seeing exactly what should see. You are listening exactly what should you listening, and not more than this. This is the meaning of here, controlling or restraining. In the 6, appropriate diet means you should take limited, whatever you eat, the lunch, breakfast, dinner, you should take limited. So if you eat more, then it will cause you have like a sleepy mind, and also that's all this dull mind arises because bodies become more heavier. And then if you eat less, that will not have enough the strength. So therefore, when you eat, you have to think like that. So Nagarjuna said in his letter to friends, when you eat, the foods are eat as like a medicine, and then not having the attachment and aversion on so once you eat the food, then eat without having attachment and aversions. And then also eating food is not for like having the body more pretty and beautiful, and then having like a strong and healthy, healthy, strong, and then yeah, it's not eating for becoming attractable. So therefore, that only that medicine that you use that survive your body for can engage all this Dharma practice. That's the only we should eat it. So therefore, as you think that, then you will take very limited. So eating more is also cause you have obscured to develop serenity, and eating less as well. So therefore, it's a appropriate diet, take limited eat.
니디야 고지 뒤수 최진 마치고 싶은 예와 있는 양지 가질 다 띵야 편이 아니 양지 치와 배율을 주고서 아니 뒤에 통내니 미녀와 나주로 좀 세고 뒤로 지금 어디로 보지 뒤로 주셔서.
And the seventh, the precondition is properly at the time to sleep, time of sleep. So you sleep at the properly time, because if you sleep the more than necessary, then you are increasing your ignorance and becoming more the lingering mind and singing, that also disturbing it, and then less sleeping as the same problem. Therefore, what is the properly time to sleep? Actually, you might read it. Last time we recommended to read the Lamrim Plus, the first volume at the beginning meditation section, right? So here briefly, there we divided the day is three, like a beginning, middle, and end, and then same as like a night is divided in three, beginning, middle, and the middle and end. So then, so at the night, the middle, the party chat Chenmo Kalsang. Okay, so you're not sleeping the beginning of night, and also not sleeping at the end of night. You only sleep the middle of the night. So that is the proper way to sleep. I mean, like proper time to sleep. So the acting with the vigilance also, it's there in first volume. The briefly here, you should say more detail in talks and the rely on a teacher. But the briefly here, acting vigilance, wherever or whenever you are work outside and sitting inside and sleeping, lying, whatever you do activities, do every single activities with the mindfulness and vigilance, mindfulness and the careful, with the mindfulness careful. That's otherwise, once you are working outside and inside, if you're not mindfulness and not careful, then all this distracted mind and then the singular mind will be arises, and again it will disturb to generating serenity. So therefore, whatever you take activities in day and night, so do with the mindfulness and careful.
아니 주와디 주와든 신년대 봤어야 되다. 주고 신년대 봤어야 되는지 다 정말들 남치지 몰라봤더니 신이 딱 대고야 돼. 무슨 소리야? 내 담비 취해 봤을 때 담비 취했는데 담비 취했으면 니나 소리를 거가 되는 아니 되는 되니 나 퇴선 지고에 와다 퇴가 다섬에 되니 무슨 운도 프로그램 와다 디나디 소리를
So the ninth precondition or prerequisite for serenity practice is rely on a teacher. So the rely on a teacher, without relying on a teacher, then you will not understand all these instructions, and then it will be start to do practice. So therefore, very important that rely on the teachers, and also not just rely on the teacher. After rely on the teacher, then you have to listen. All these three Pitaka, like a text, which is like a Vinaya and Sutra, Abhidharma, as teaches. So this is the 10th prerequisite for Serenity practice.
어두시는 다른데 담비 최년바디 퇴바디 제 담비 최 세바디 아니 티라니 퇴비 된티니 되는 성중이 아니야 아니 배지 이게 그네 지바체디 담비 최 세바스 최 다른 주지바디 제 아니 다른 동아배 왔을 때 동생배 왔다 소소 기사할 때는 배시라 밥동에기와 진짜이다 동생 배배기 되는 지사바 장고에 들어 동아배 왔어 어두시는 다취 주지다 주민들이 샤스
The 11 is saying thinking the Dharma. The word thinking Dharma means whatever you hear is whatever you study at Dharma, and more contemplating on each things which you hear, which you listen it. So this is meaning that the thinking Dharma. If not things, then again you will forget it. Then you all this instruction will be not benefit at the time when you do practice. So therefore you have to a lot of contemplating on that. And then 12 is also generosity, that you are giving more your virtues and the merit to others. That's the 12th prerequisite.
아니 이 주수바디 개종의 초록스리다 가슴지 다른 지당 개종 세대든지 다지 좀 다지 양다가 수면으로 개종 세시와 다 개종 세대 가bre 잡종을 거야다 내가 배양지 개종 되는지 가서 다지는 그런 거에 되게 갑디든지 다수는 나발다봐 뭐 굉장히 일단 그 주변이 기리초 배역이 되나 세기 주름 순다 아니 내기 주름 순다 아니 롱주 다세 그 내면 롱주 진짜게 다지 나가주는 장비유지 주니 선택이 다지 조주에서 뒤나오다 진짜기다 소수비 개와야 배역이 되는 되게 제가 손들이 대중의 초록스로 되는 것을 이해하셨어.
The 13th is the activities of Sharamana. The Sharamana refers to sometime who has an audience, fully audience monks and nuns, and then sometime Sharamana refers to the meditative couples and after meditative couples. So here refers to the who are having audience, fully audience monks and nuns, as what they are practicing that so you are properly to the wearing clothes and eating, and then all this the sleeping things, everything's you are properly using it. So that's the it's more refers to the having less desire and less attachment to everything. Therefore, they have to have this kind of Shamana practice. Also, we have more details there. The 12 ascetic virtues that we have said it. The 12 ascetic virtue has all these very less desire and satisfactions practice. These are the 4. Having less desire and having satisfaction practice. That's what we need it for prerequisite.
so 주나라 카마세도 예산에 수도 주나라 되거든요. 기본으로 다 된소 아니 이제 차단지 차와 좋아이나 다시 예배도 주에다 아니 배로에 가병원에 이용하게 된수지 다디 토투어 레스 티셔도 뒤 저디 마소에
So there are two types of the precondition or prerequisite mentioned here. One's from second stage of meditation by Kamalashila, and then now here the Asanga cervical level, which is not clear with the second stage of meditations. And then it's clear as more detailed with the Asanga's level. So therefore, as we are practicing serenity or shamatha or calm abiding, we must combine this all prerequisite, all precondition practice are properly and do the practice properly with all this, combine it, and then will be you can attend serenity or shamatha swiftly or then properly. Okay, now Sam, you think that you received now oral transmission of the Lamrim, this paragraph. And also I'm going to read in English. The 6 topics over the key causes and conditions for newly developing good concentration, for maintaining and exciting concentrations without deteriorations, and for heightening your concentrations. In particular, the most important one are good ethical discipline, seeing desire as a disadvantageous, and then dwelling in an appropriate area. So these are the talking about more the benefiting and reason to why this 6 and 13 prerequisites are important.
최 뭐가나 소리 받는 밤에도 봤습니다. 뒤에 최근 들었더니 가리스나 가스나지 나밤에도 받을 굉장히 손에 변하지 다 준비해 가서마다 지원이다 바꾸면요. 아니 지금 이중으로 저보다 굉장히 돈이 되니 대발하던 인공에 받다를 어디 나와 있나요? 등에 생기 기다지 타바도니까 강사기 등에 들어더니 로자에게 되니 조바들 장미 주와 뒤에 잡고를 했어. 다는시 틀이 네번 내봤으니 다 유에게 아니 가슴 도리지는 수완하시 아니 가슴은 아니 너좀 그런 강사지 가슴은 사상보다 보상은 너좀 위에 유제 수완하시 아니 내 틀이 네번 내봤디 다 뱉는 거랑 좀 맞지 공짜스 신의 통로 공개 강사들아 다 뱉로데 박백공원이다 뱉지 지난 매일 통해더니 뱉인데지 아니 내가 있는 신의 주변에 내가 있는 팀 예법을 다디 고바디 다 뒤서 유교가 있는 신하들이 야라서 아니 정신이 쇼라 성능 거를 해서 뒤에서 내가 조금 되지
So the meaning of that, what we read it's all these precondition practice are some are causing that the newly developed arises as a serenity. Some are the condition for increasing that serenity, and some are condition for firming or remaining the shamatha practice. And within this, like whether 6 or 13, within this all these preconditions, most important is here is a good ethical discipline. So once you have a good ethical, the ethical discipline is okay. The first thing is why is most important these three? As like example, if we have some meeting, important meeting, and then so then if we missing one of the important members, then we cannot do other meeting. So we shouldn't miss all this important member and necessary. Then we can have meeting, and then others members are whether they are not, it's okay. So the same way here, there's all these three conditions within this 13 or 6. The three condition is the most important. And then why? Because the good ethical discipline. So if you do not have a good ethical discipline, then okay. Yeah, so if you do not have a good ethical discipline, then you cannot develop all these virtues activities. As the same Nagarjuna said in his letter to friends, that the ethical discipline is like a ground, which is like the what call it, having all these activities. So therefore, without having good ethical discipline, then you cannot restrain your the 5 sense faculties. And then if you cannot restrain your 5 sense faculties, then it's very difficult to reduce or contain tame to your the mental faculties, and therefore it's really important. And then seeing desire as a disadvantages, this is another importance for that. So if you like okay. So seeing desire as a disadvantages, how you need to see the desire as a disadvantages, seeing through by the contemplating on death impermanent, contemplating on the human leisure and opportunity, and then also as well like the renounce, having renunciations or renounced all these samsaric pleasures. So that's how you do the disadvantages desire. And then also, if not, then the desires brings you huge like distractions. Then once you have a strong distractions, then definitely it's the completely obscure to generating that karma abiding. So therefore, seeing desire as advantages is the second important part. and then dwelling in a appropriate area. This is also important. If your area has some kind of danger by anything, like they be human being or animal, whatever they have dangers, then you cannot complete, or you cannot generate all this practice and special serenity. So therefore, these three is must like a necessary important preconditions or prerequisites. Yeah, practice. So the next Geshe Domtenpa said, we think that the fault lies only in our personal instruction. As we then seek only personal instructions, we are unable to attend concentration. This is the result of not abiding under its condition. Well, what's the meaning here is sometimes when we try to, you only expecting that having the good concentration and then having single pointed mind shamatha, you just focus on that, and then you try only to meditate for having good concentrations, and then you are not really engaged those the precondition practice are, then it might be discouraged to you instead of continuous developing. So that's a small danger for you. So sometimes you think that you're just expecting that having concentration, then you only focus on that, and then it's not happening day by day, month by month. Then you might think, oh, I have some problem with my personal instruction or oral instructions. So this is not only that the instructions that missing it. So the based on instruction, you needed all the precondition practices. If you miss that all precondition practices, then all the cause and condition is not the perfect collected it. If you not collected the perfect cause and condition, that will not let you have that result as a shamatha or serenity. So therefore, you have to more focus as a beginner. We have to more focus on precondition practice instead of just doing meditate again and again.
디나디니 마마 주저시 주어지 시행 발전 당부 신이 뭔가 삼대기 소수 조가 인데스 공림 당불리스 신년이 네발라서 되바라 미다시 수림라 미바 네바당지 아니 동안라서 봐 당도의 빙하수 제도 교와 수주 장나 요도 주로 대회는 파파고 많이 비트빌로 소배죠 아니 진소라서 고마 고미 균이 때도 시순수.
So again, I remind you, you just received the oral transmission, and then the term condition refers to the six explained above. Now I'm going to read what Geshe read it. Moreover, the first four perfections serve as preconditions. What Geshe said it, there are another the precondition practice for shamatha and insight. So they are shamatha actually, yeah. So therefore, I'm reading here. The moreover, the first four perfections serve as a precondition for the fifth. Meditative stabilizations, fifth meditative stabilizations. Kamalashila's first stage of meditation stage. You quickly accomplish serenity when you disregard the desire for possessions and such. Keep good ethical discipline, have disposition to readily tolerate suffering, and joyously perseveres. That being the case, sources such as the sutra unrevealing the in-depth meaning, teach the generosity and the other perfections are cause of the successively higher perfections.
something parching is Titula, and it and it become data, Chimato, Tilatine, and it should Tilatine, Suba, Tilatine, Tunjus, the Sheshibati, and it Yara to
So the meaning of this, the paragraph, in six perfections, there are concentration. The perfection of concentration is included in serenity. So therefore, all this, the above, the morality, a perfection of morality practice, perfection of perfection of generosity, perfection of morality, perfection of patience, perfection of joyful practice. All these are the cause of the perfection of concentration. Therefore, these are also the cause for shamatha and serenity, as they are above are cause and belows are the results which we mentioned, we already taught in where we taught the six perfections. Yeah, it is also taking quotes from Atisha's Lamrim path for confirming these are the right things. So Atisha Lamrim for the path to enlightenment, Buddhipada Paradipa state. When you lack the element of serenity, even if you meditate assiduously, you will not achieve concentrations, even in thousands of years. So therefore, it is very important for those who sincerely wish to achieve the concentration of serenity and insight to work on the elements or preconditions for serenity, such as the 13, which are the set for in Asanga Sarvaga levels. Here, okay, before Geshe expand, let you know that when you lack the element of serenity, it's not really talking about the part of the serenity. It is a precondition. It's a cause of serenity. So all these 6 and 13s are the cause of serenity. Therefore, you can think that when you lack the precondition of serenity instead of element of serenity. Yeah.
아니 배신에 당 등에 누가다 시작이 등에서 님 타반이 주가 남기 세디 가스나 진대가 가스나 말아도다 도와지다 집에는 가로다 치료 배신에 나도 주가 나시들이 많이 받았다 수수지 가래 이제 개인 중중지 집에 있으면 이제 거 가지고 많이 받는 타반에 시작이 등에서 님 타반 주가 도와줬다 내게 믹서기 등에 가스나 타반들이 강사지가 시작하시니 타도의 기분이 신에다 활동되는 타반에 주가 들어왔어야 되는데 타도의 기분이 되게 거기서 주가 들어왔는지 아니 왜 거기서 시에게 아니 신의 주체가 되는 소리다 아니 신의 예라 야 이제 고진이 주가 어떤 등소를 했는지 아니 이제 쇼콜라 소리가 신신이 아니 배냐고 배가 차고 있습니다 이 말하고 땅아 정말로 좀 봐서 집에 있는 것을 무슨 땅아 럭셔리 오시지 근데 내 친구들 통도 신자들이 이 sabjiri nangla, 아니 나 신의 초대의 sabjiri 다 당들이 인진 프로사서 디제를 처리되는 디제면은 올라가 있습니다.
So the last, the paragraph is very important advice to us by Lama Tsongkhapa. So what the meaning is here thinking says sincerely who is sincerely wish to achieve the concentration. That sincerely means what Geshe thinking is it's like who wants to attain liberation, so who want to achieve cessation or liberation or good Buddhahood. That refers to here sincerely, that wish to achieve, not as like you are developing shamatha or karma fighting for just having some kind of pleasure. It's more developing for attained nirvana or attained Buddhahood. So therefore, who are sincerely wishing at that, who want to attend this, that this is the then never miss that all this precondition practice. You must engage this precondition practice. This is important. This up to here we finished the precondition practice of the shamatha, and then before we start the next, then we're going to take a question if you have it. George.
Question. Oh, go ahead, Gloria.
Yeah, this might have been asked last week, so I apologize. I had to miss. But is it possible for a lay person to really give up all thoughts of desire?
And cousin to the chill some susa did to the Mansuda me because a minawachi in Bichane Betanganzu Yongzo Le Tangway Yongzo Chashan Tangwa the Yung Sigrives.
Di sorte passeggiati di scene come per tanto sono scene come si ne va scene come sta ma ava funzionando dava dirigere macchine che ho tappi da si di che sulla trapoggio ina ti negativa di sono da per i contatto che ci va ci per tutto il tempo ma ina non è capace di fare ma tu scene come la via tutto come io ti si come sta scene come che giocano con una debattenti da ma dirigere per la dirigere tu macchine da su da allora tenere per giocare ina sono tutto da ina per io non calcolo questo di caso da di 신의 보면 공개 강사가가 수수비 신의 땅을 뒤수 뒤지는 신의 때 따로 강하는 신의 기와신 거기는 신의 기와신 진짜리 다 수수 뒤수 샹이 신의 똑바지 그가 깨게 반통 공략이 고수는 좋아하는 주무시 마게 바로들라 다 진짜리 야라기 다 지켜반수 마대마이나 배제다리 오래 가고 있어.
Okay, the English and the Quran are just and the Chiwadi Minavich Chigdembola Chakshin Yong so low down like the Sibareves.
되게 저기 참아서 저 추를 나와 되발은 넘어도 엄마세 뒤로 되고
Chakshin Yong so low down Sibareve. Chida.
맞아. 뒤 가서 가서 자도 마주를 가서기 전에 또 바토는 때문에 열어 봐. 자식 방에 열어 봐. 자식 방에 진실하게 좋아해 뭐 집에 되나 집에 된지 봐봐 싶어서 뭐 열어 봐. 뒤에 벤처가 수준 때문에 인신이라도 좋은 기억하겠어. 가서 이게 주고 생각을 내네. 아니 왜 가서지 주말도 때문에나 아니 뒤 자신이 나도에 갑자기 열어서 집에 된지 참여해서 방에가 좋은 열어서
Yeah, it is very much possible because there we have a many layperson, the Bodhisattvas and the great practitioner. It's not necessary to become a audience, monks and nuns. And also here the precondition practice saying the desire is a disadvantages means while you are meditating, while you're developing serenity, only the time you have to give up. So it's not saying you have to give up everything forever. When you engage the practicing serenity shamatha for achieving that the moment or that while you're doing that, then you have to be engaged in precondition practice. It's not forever.
All right, Geshe, that really helps because I think if it's clearing your mind for the meditation, then I get it. Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
Yes, I have a question, Geshe. On the last point in this section, where it says, therefore, it is very important for those who sincerely wish to achieve the concentrations of serenity and insight. So Geshe was saying sincerely means that they must wish for liberation or Buddhahood. Earlier in the text, when we were discussing why both serenity and insight were necessary, one of the examples was that even a non-Buddhist could achieve serenity, so that alone can't be the cause for Buddhahood. So when it says sincerely here, meaning that you must want to attain liberation or Buddhahood, is that because it says serenity and insight? It's not just for serenity, right?
Can you repeat the other part, which you before you said that what about what we talked?
Earlier in the text, when we were discussing why both serenity and insight are necessary, I think one of the examples was that even a non-Buddhist could achieve serenity. So serenity alone can't be cause for Buddhahood. So I'm wondering if sincerely means that you must sincerely want to achieve Buddhahood or at least liberation. Is that because it says in that passage it includes both serenity and insight? So is it because of the insight that sincerely means that?
Yeah, I got your question.
Okay, thank you.
Tanda dina min thakwa ne ani dichi tendo nyawas lai choro. Tinging thakwa di bena thaba dunya da tinde tamjiki ma dunya lochi lo kudu sungro. Ta di na yege gaande shine dan hadon niga gom go be juzen dilia kesi shine kyangba gom hadon ma gom bachina shine kyangba topgen chiruba ngazo na go mai batide ma go yores sungres. 단다 딜레야 닝 타바네 타바 되니 잘 거야 돼 가금생 가르스나 디나야 신내다 하도 니가 쭉 구구도 디시니 닝 타바네 타바 되니 잘 베스 오케이 닝 타바네 라이디다 타바 되니 로질 구구도 송로아 디나 단대 디닝 타바네 라이딜 타바 되니 로딜 고고비 금zen디 디오 다가라야 아니 디송도 아가사 실하기 띵이진 송도아스 신내다 하도 니가 ning takwane juba lai kwa di chane shila da ting is shine da hado niga songbe gyumzene gyumzela tene di ning takwa di ane taba di nyong lol gu yorves
어떤 뒤로다 대응이다 신의 시각이 띵해서 ning 타바데 주가 주가 넘기 있으니 근데 이 수에 정말로 송화처럼 송사디 기부순이랑 비슷한 로션의 강사지를 송화로 다 디시 자신이 아니 근데 왜 다지 마다 기부 충에서 봐 진짜지기로 정했습니다. 두체를 남백이 배마도 지기 근데 이 친구 니가 나한테 디 타바디 디수와 마이스티 정말 또 지금 수법에 다지 슈 제와디 기부순이랑 이시가로 로션을 가라더니 내가 수에 가면서 디 시작했더니 민타바디에서 타바트니고 요거 시작하신 것들이 오고 그래서 주로 지금 이 요새 시간 내가 시간을 고민해 봐요 말했어. 갑자기 봐봐지.
ta shine da hado niga jubgo gyumzen tene tene marwa
어디
okay. So Gisela don't think that the reason that sincerely refers to the attain liberation because of that transport, serenity, and insight. It's don't think that. It's why he thinking the sincerely refers to the who want to attain liberation and Buddhahood, because this Lamrim is generally talk to who are the disciple or practitioner who wants to achieve who wants to attain Buddhahood. So based on that, sincerely, I understand it is for that. So not only that have a serenity and insight, then I can add it here. Even you can just cultivate serenity with the sincerely mind. You can just cultivate the serenity for attain nirvana. Not necessarily both inside and at the moment.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Geshe, this is a little more controversial, but we were talking about domestics versus monks and renunciants. And it had kind of confused me because my understanding was Padmasambhava had a wife, I don't know, or a consort, I don't know if you can clarify that, but was the idea of Lama Tsongkhapa wanting to bring back the Lamrim under the guidance of Atisha, wanting to bring back ethical discipline where perhaps it had been lost in these various other lineages. Can you speak to that?
I'm not like 100% clear on like, well, she said it was controversial, so maybe she's talking about like, did Lama Tsongkhapa feel like the other traditions lacked ethical discipline?
Oh, I see. Okay. That dinalia chudum number that was go soyati bena gurumbuche na da chage yorwa. Gurumbuche chage yobe chane tabege chuju shinda dula chudum number that was me lan jubegi sung yorbes.
디 대시 말로 디 가스는 더 고아테스다. 그자 중국에서 그러시 되겠습니다. 그래서 근데 이 수능세들아 술 먹어요. 그래서 이게 주고 술을 소다를 술을 장성 술을 상하로 술을 딱 올로면 하는 술 상하로 술을 장성 술을 다 상하로 술을 나가 양내 종이에 또 바통을 주시 저한테 수사상이 있는 말이었어. 술을 나가 다 와서들 술인데 소들 술을 주고라고 하는데 가요 말이었어. 수능세들아 기발한 이게 주고 술 아주 좋은 소들 술 아니 장수세 말 장성 술 아니 나가도 들었더니 상황이 출입이 출입수수수 뒤셔도 시다 가가수수수 요래서 그래서 뒤 나오는 뒤 고를 탱 말씀 들었어.
Geshe, I think that the Lama Tsongkhapa was not rejecting them because their ethical discipline has a few different levels. The first one is just engage at the ethical discipline of 10 virtues, and then ethical discipline of the vows of individual liberation, and then also the Bodhisattva vows, and then also Tantra vows. So Padmasambhava and also the SMS like a Marpa, they are having very pure Bodhisattva vows and Bodhisattva vows and the Tantra vows, and also they do have some kind of individual. Even if they don't have a fully audience, they do have an individual liberation vows. So therefore, it's without vows, no one can achieve anything. They do have a vows, therefore they achieved it. And another things I can say here, the Pema Sambhava has a concept, not the way beginning. After he attained all these high qualities, then is able to have a concept. Same as like a Gelugpa, that like who are realize, who have the higher realizations or who achieve the higher path, they can have concept, even Gelugpa. So therefore, this is a little bit different. First, you engage the practice and achieve the higher level, then having concept. And way beginning and having concept is two different. Even the way beginning having concept is not the lack of having vows, because you can have concept with the vows as like a marpa, have individual vows, liberation vows, and also the Tantra and Bodhisattva vows. So they all have it. Without vows, without morality, we cannot do anything. And one more example here. So in another way, you can think also, it's mentioned in the Chandrakirti's middle way, Madhyamika. What said it here is, even the Bodhisattvas, the Bodhisattva who actually the higher realizations are higher achievement, even the Bodhisattva, once they are bounded by perceiving the inherent existence, or they're bounded by the root of ignorance, then their morality is the what called, it's a it's a not really say wrong. That shouldn't chewala, no, that engineer wrong. It's a the wrong. What's called? It's a, how we say. La.
Broken
Broken, or the broken okay. It's a broken Bodhisattva vows. Even the Bodhisattva can have the broken Bodhisattva vows. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Any other question?
Geshe, I have a question.
Okay.
Did you say there were 18 sense elements grouped in 6, like the sense organs, the sense objects, and the 6 elements of consciousness?
Not 18.
There's not 18.
Yeah, 6. What Geshe says, 6, as we have a 6 sensory faculty, therefore having 6 consciousness, and then could be 6, each consciousness have a 6 feeling. That's how he said it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Geshe, Sean's question, could, imply that only Buddhists can attain Buddhahood or liberation. So I guess my question is kind of a academic question. It's, if Buddhism is going to deal with universals and to talk about, all beings, is it not at least conceivable and therefore possible that a non-Buddhist could aspire to and attain liberation.
Okay. The Quran the shin gi kalau de to ne jo ji yu nang be chue to ne the simje thamje ani ka da ji jidan nang shue de ji cho ka wa zamni sho ka so kya de de da an nang shue gi nyamne de simje thamje gi thaba to ge ji shi gi res chesa nangba main ne ya nangba main gi ji gi thaba dan tham shi ke top sig ge bes
the 저기 가서 다 나와 많이 다 탈바도 탐지에서 탈바스디 무엇이에 대해서는 내가 뭐게 나오면가 친구한테 탈바시 와다 리니 교단 지구를 지발을 했더니 내가 뭐다 뒤 빠져다 보면 나오면 다 저기 가발 앞에 가서 누군가 이걸 탈바시키기 시작했어. 다뒤 탈바들아 다 인중에 사발로 잡아줬어. 인중에 사발로 잡아라 아니 지원이다 받는 거지 그랬어. 좋아 지원이다 받아 다준 된지 당도 맞아요, 그랬다고. 가슴 때문에 가다 롱게 시고가 쉽게 가슴 하게 아니 코비드 상황이 몸비가 이제 통행이 있고 담에도 비시를 주고 그랬어. 담에도 비시를 듣고 말은 담에 킬링이지 계시고 그랬어. 이 낭비 담에 나오면 되지. 지금 나가면 담에 나와가는 게 주시고 말고 다도 가지 뭐. 강사님 한번을 떼고 주기 남아서 맞대비 라자고 시작하고 그랬어. 그래서 강사 통보를 맞대비 라자고 똥이 고문이 근데 강사 통보를 맞대비 라자고 진행 루틴이 막 내가 수행이 되는 뒤에 차선이 뭔가 가면 신이 타바 통해 주시고 말이지. 아니 도당에 오게 말이지. 건조에 되는 뭐 코비드와 당시를 뉴지 니고 동진지 다 지 남비슈가 마슈 통해 지지 공부는 다 시에서 그 중요도 요는 거예요 말이지. 타바스인데 당신 비즈니스 사람도 제가 방법하지 않았어. 누가 진짜 타바. 미니비냐데 다시 지금 네가 보고 방법하지 시 미니비냐데. 다 타바냐는 가지고 통행들은 여러 가지 말했어. 이런 것도 아니 타바디 당신 사회도 좀 많이 용했어. 나 당신 사회도 좀 제가 공인이 뭐더라. 그 당신의 이유를 표현하는 게 다음에 또 불러주고 그랬어. 다음에 또 그러고 말아. 아니 나도 말로한테 타고 선물을 코트게 뒤에도 와서 되니 지금 되게 때가 봐. 선배님 미신이 지금 세네 동네 뒤에서 거기 뒤다 나가면 따라 뒤 나와디 가서 라우싱 가서 뒤 깔아지고 말했어. 그걸 라우싱 뒤에 오래 그랬어. 뒤에 나도 내가 다음에 나와지 내 상주로 낭비슈는 간다. 낭비슈라고 한다. 낭비 공부를 잘해서 가서는 와 남바스에 따와 가다게 찾아시 캐링이지 와 뒤기시고 그랬습니다. 따와 가다시 찾아시 캐링 따와 가다게 찾아시 또네 디미신이 타고 통과했어. 와 뒤에 통해다 남바 많이 받았더니 가다가 타고 이런 말을 했으니 가서 롱게 거기 막 가와다 강사에 가와 자는 거 했어. 선물 비용을 그런 거랑 아마 되게 그래 말했어. 와 그냥 아주 바샤가 그 샤고라고 같은 거 그랬어. 그걸로 그래라 가지고 그거는 샤가 카피는 이마로 뒤집어 냈어.
So the answer is no, because it's not just the Buddha said it. It's more having the logic, and then it's people thought. Because the attaining liberation is depend on having renunciations. The having renunciations also depend on understanding selflessness. So as well as you are not understanding selflessness, then you cannot like eliminate it. That's all the cause of liberation. So therefore, it's very much connected to understanding selflessness. Then whoever accept the self or like a soul, then they cannot attain liberation, because they are not understand selflessness, they are not accepting selflessness. And another way to say the Buddhist tenet school, whoever, they must need to be accept to foreseal. The foreseal, that here all the phenomena are impermanent, and then all the contaminations are suffering, and then all the phenomena are selflessness, and then nirvana is peace. That foreseal must need to accept it. So while you're accepting the foreseal, you don't have to be accept that all phenomena are selflessness. So therefore, who do not agree and accept the selflessness, they will not have the able to attain liberation. For example, if who wants to go east, then they go to north directions. Then who wants to go east directions, they will never turn into the north directions. Who wants to go north directions, they will never turn into the east directions. So same way, who wants to go east, they will more direct to the east and then focus to east. So this is not that we are rejecting, Buddha rejected. It's also not that reject by like all this thing, logic. It's more the people's thought and perspective to change there. So that's as I thought it.
Is it also, you know, really to affirm the unique contribution, the unique thought of the Buddha, and to defend it as unique and as, you know, separate from other teachers?
I think he's asking, is it like a defining characteristic of Buddhism?
Thank you, Chappelle.
This is your question?
Is another way of expressing that as, you know, basically affirming, you know, the teachings that you just enumerated, or the principles that you just enumerated as defining and unique aspects of Buddhism.
아니, 단 낭추의 투모마에 비켜줘야지 롭시트 시켜버치스.
원래 그 남쪽이다 투모입니다. 집라이다 진짜 주다 시간을 제공도 지나 다는 게 다바카데기 자주시 있어야 되는 시작을 했어. 두지 단지 다바다가 지지. 사실은 이제 동화 다바 지지. 최근 이제 동시 남미 봐서 양면이 되게 쉬워서 뒤 다바카데기 자주시 아니 주다 시간을 잡이 아니 지금 남미 그놈이 다 교수실에 있어. 딱 뒤라더니 최근에 동시 다음에 봐서 애들한테 주다 공원이 좋아. 아니 대신에 남미가 돈이 좋아. 남미에 세트라든지 강상 남미 마스 추기 담을 줘야 요만이 있을 때 시력이 아니야 주다 공맥이 되는지 정말 방도 주다 공맥이 추기 담이 넘쳐서 지고 그랬어. 다 주다 공말라 나와 있는 그런 선자마다 도대발하면 선자에 근데 추기 담이 개대가 되지도 음악이 추기 담이 개대 받으라요. 양수수수 추기 담이 음악 선자에 있는 추기 담이 동안 대장을 그러지 내가 뭐 준비되니 동의지가 되니 추기 담이 시작하고 말했어. 우마가라야 우마가 남스에게 되는 지금 말하는 거 타기가서 말하는 게 아니 내가 마주하게 된 돈이신 것도 지랑 신경 줄 돈이지 내가 바꾸고 말했어. 뒤 그다 수수수 되는지 되수지랑 남가서 이제 지를 수 있는 거니 시험을 했습니다. 지도 좀 제가이나 아니 다왜 천시하지 주비스는 했습니다. 다와디 다와가다가 천시다 돈이지 아니 저바디 되는지 지금 세번에 봤을 때 된게 와 그게 된게 되거든요. 자식이 넘쳐 태봐서 뒤 그더니 지금 나와진다디 오늘 지금 동반한다디 자자시다 아니 대중 교가 아니 군대 되는와 관계지는 지금 그렇더니 용공에 유디는 지금도 마음 매개서 대제지기다 편력이 지고라 때문에 대통령이 저 용공에 대제기 주가지 돈이 아니 지금 주가 세워면 와서 얘기 지금 아니 뭔가 지기 된 바로 대제지가 주고 있습니다.
So in briefly, I can explain it because I cannot explain extensively because the time period. So the briefly, the unique, the Buddhism has a two divided in two. It's a view and the like what's called activities, behavior. So the view, it has two things, general view and then the particular view. So general view, all this Buddhism, Buddhist 10 school must have to accept it, agree that for seal, which I earlier said it. This one unique things, as well as they're accepting for seal, then they have to accept the empty and selflessness. And then the particular, the view different is like a first two tenet school must just accepting at the selflessness, and then Chidamatra or mind only school accept based on that selflessness. Then they accept the empty selflessness of phenomena, not just selflessness of self and selflessness of phenomena. So they also accept the selflessness of phenomena. What is they are the empty of in the external exits. And also the next Madhyamika has also divided the South Tantrika and Prasangika. The South Tantrika, which is like an autonomic, what's the South Tantrika autonomic school, and then Prasangika, what do we say in? Okay, the consequentially school and autonomic school. The autonomic school accepted like both the selflessness of self and selflessness of phenomena, but the selflessness of phenomena is different than the mind-only school. What their selflessness of phenomena is, the all phenomena are lack of inherent existence. This is the selflessness phenomena. And then next, the Prasangika has their also the individual their own particular view is that all this self and phenomena are lack of self arising, which is belows are not agreed, but the Prasangika only that accepted the lack of self arising. This is the part of the view, the point of the view. They have a different unique in Buddhist, and then also behaviors is more non-violence based on understanding of dependent originations. So far you can think this is the unique of the Buddhist. And then additionally, I can say that the brief will be what is the Buddhist the essence of behavior is compassion. What is the essence of view is what you call that's the selflessness. All right, the emptiness is the essence of Buddhist view, and then compassion is the essence of Buddhist behaviors. This is the unique things.
Thank you. I hope I didn't take us too far off track there.
Okay. So just, yeah. Yeah, also you can think that, as Geshe said, the selflessness, almost there are all these religious and then other philosopher, tenet school, not really talks that selflessness. And then earlier there's some philosopher, the Greek philosopher, they are talking similarly emptiness, but when we describe and more go with the detail, then it's totally separated, different. Can I do na? Lasso.
Angi geshe la songa la di shine gomnyom len chial shoge langan da gonda niya ki tuzi ni tuzi di gol chik son zol
Lasso.
di shirang go tsumang di khande ina shoge khajaji langwina gonda khajaji yongwina chik
Ale lasso.
di kola
Okay, Tashi Chime. Okay.
no.
Lasso, Tashi and Chime asking that the time of the appropriate time to sleep. So now I'm going to ask Geshe. So,
가슴으로 다른 님의 찾주시다고 팀의 찾주시다 쇼는 있어서 팀의 찾주시다고 아니 다른 있는데 다른 시간이 뭐 마셔서 다시 그걸 마셔 그걸 샤워해 그걸 샤워 팀을 타고 있다 그걸 까마셔 예수님 아니 팀에게 돌아 마셔 다 돌아 마셔서 그걸 샤워 팀을 타고 다면서 뒤순지가 차려 다 디니마디니 짜링들라 짜링 카순진 짜링 타마디 어디 짜링 신을 짜링 타마고 디 아니라 디 바로들은 예 사수다 생명 차지 쏘는 것이잖아요. 어디 내지라더니 가스나 바르기 차지는 예 아니 진짜 그걸 샤바니 예수는 아니 생명이 드니 가스나 그래 짜링이 드니 가스나 디타 짜링이 차타고 그거는 시차다 생명 타고 당소도 디 바로들은 많이 아니 짜링 샤니야 짜링들 짜링 타마 디 배제를 많이 했거든. 디 가서는 다 나중에 주력의 값이 티지. 다 뒷바로들아 아니 왜 내놔야 되니까 그래요. 우리가 예수를 지금 얘기 값이 좀 나와 소리를 했어.
the getting share like the chuzu shana chuzu ngawa simmasin de bacha getting thangu sha de wa the sentuen the chuzu jungi chukji cha de wa So actually Gisela explained with their few measuring the day and night by that the Vinaya text. They have few the 14, the day divided to 14 and night divided to 14. But its point is here that you can take the sleeping time is like 11:30 to 5. It's a sleeping time, and then the 5. You must start your practice, and before 11:30, this is time for practice. That we only sleeping for having resting and then having good health. So that's Gisela explain it. And dashi chimila dana Gisela sung di tyoso ala.
La sung na yabsho koma sungona.
Ale Gisela gidi sungdo. 다 말아주 뒤에 슝 지나다 깨링 니메 차줍시다 세메 차줍시라는 고샤 겹체 또 숨기요래 다 등산 추저 갈 바보이나 아니 남라 가서 깨링 샤베 두주데 깨링 샤발라나 배 니마 차상 샤 마사고네 남 깨르고레 차기로 왔다 디플랭 등산 추정하와 잡으체 다 추정하베 공원디다 아니 생기 밖에 추저 죽지도 책에 버르디 아니 얘기 두주래샤 아니 디 추정하바네 아니 밖에 양 밖에 내절로 전고 그래 디 공원된 조양 내절로 전고 요래 냠내 지고 요래 디 버르디 녀 두주래샤 간스나도 류랑에 소고래 아니 최대한 거래 두수고도
몰라서 듣잖아 계절에
나서 Okay, one more question. Whoever can answer to you, na to chick sorona. You have a question by chatting?
No.
Okay. Okay, and then if you do not have a question, then we're going to stop here today. Because if we start that next subject, then it's also connected with a very long paragraph. So, okay. Sangye Shimbo Mide, Jogu Namda Shinga Idama Niyadayami. In this land, surrounded by a mountain of snow, you are the source of all sloth and joy. All-powerful, generous Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. To bring blessing of enlightened activities to Persian disciple, and to spread the textual and inner realizations teaching of the Buddha, who embodies the 10 powers. You show the light of logic in teaching to intelligent minds. Oh, I pray to you, our spiritual guide, rebel of the path. May the precious supreme Bodhicitta arise in those in whom it has not arisen, and where it has arisen, may it not decrease, by our increase more and more. I dedicate this virtue as a cause for gaining a true understanding of the soul's medicine that dispels all the illness of grasping and extreme, the profound meaning of dependent origination that is free of extremes, and the view of the Supreme Arya Nagarjuna and has spiritual successor. By this virtue, may all beings perfect the accumulation of merit and wisdom, and achieve the two holy bodies that arise from merit and wisdom. Ngawang di nyoto da sunan Geshe tukyo Namba kunyi toba. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a wonderful night.